home for all things American soccer lately. Tonight, it launches a critical year for the U.S. men's eligible players. That is key today.
It is key. Matt Turner wins the competition in goal to make his debut tonight. Aaron Long will be.
Our coverage tonight is presented by the Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. As the U.S. gets set for their 26th.
He, rumor has it, is being watched by MLS teams. Keep an eye also on Ryan Telfer.
This time next year, we're going to have a lot more answers. And we're going to have answered a lot more of this referee. This men's national team played all of 4 games this year. Well, they're going to play at least 20. Central Florida. Temperature in the mid-70s, a little bit of a breeze. Not too much precipitation. Vines playing that ball into Ferreira. A little bit of hesitation there from Fonset. Ferreira laying it back in on an empty net. And Jonathan Lewis has his first career international goal. Less than 2 minutes in, the second nervy moment at the back for Trinidad and Tobago. And just like the U.S. did a month ago against El Salvador, a great early start.
Well, it's a really great entry ball from Sam Vines on this left-hand side. And you're going to see he sees the space. Ferreira, they're running from inside. This Trinidad and Tobago back line just completely opened up. And then the awareness in that
group. Oh, a little tangle of legs at the end of that one. Jamal Jack was running with them.
We can see, John, when the United States win possession, they're looking to play really quickly in transition. It was Paul Arriola.
Vines brings it down. Inside for the late run of Leggett. Leggett just sort of for England at the '86 World Cup. One of the English defenders left in the wake of Diego Maradona. Rising up there, couldn't get it fully clear. Lewis has Vines, his Rapids teammate. Vines, the cutback is turned in. Jesus Ferreira, his first international goal. And the U.S. up 2 inside of 10 minutes.
Well, it's really great play for the United States, and it's the Colorado connection on this left-hand side. Once again, they worked it from the right. They were patient. Comes back through Yule, and you're going to see now Jonathan Lewis on this near side. When the U.S. pick it up, he takes up a good position, and here comes Vines from out of your screen. The timing of the run, oh, maybe a hint of offside in there as well, and it's cut back, and Ferreira.
Yule crossing from deep. Fonset is there. Made his debut last year after getting his U.S. citizenship. Arriola, early cross for Ferreira, popped in the air, and Fonset is able to recover.
But the U.S. are just having so much joy in behind the fullbacks for Trinidad and Tobago. You're going to see these runs. Arriola starts in
World Cup qualifying at Trinidad and Tobago. Acosta, Arriola with a couple different options trying to provide an opponent at the end of the January camp. Aaron Herrera's cross into a good area, and it stays out somehow. That was Lewis rising up. It was Fonset. I don't know, elbow, face, something to keep it out.
I'm not sure what a terrific ball in, and Jonathan Lewis, who's had a good game as well so far, in a goal.
The reverse it, Leggett, knocked down, Aaron Long, Ferreira, Long, and missed most of last year with a torn ACL. His second appearance for the U.S. since. Arriola into the middle, Leggett. Embassies were closed, they couldn't get visas. Trinidad took this game on late notice. Here's Lewis now, his cross on the deck. Acosta. And slipped that one in for Leggett, and he was offside.
Nice look, though, from Kellen Acosta in the middle of the field.
Jones, wide it goes to Bonval. Able to cut it back on Vines. His crossover cooked, and he hits it away for Ferreira. He's got Lewis on the near side. He might not need him. Jesus Ferreira able to cut it back. How about Arriola to stab it in? 3-0 for the U.S. Paul Arriola gets another goal on his return for the torn ACL. And midway through the first half, the U.S. is already able to run away from Trinidad and Tobago.
And it comes from deep in Trinidad and Tobago's end. Kellen Acosta wins the header, and it's Paul Arriola who starts it and then finishes off the play. Stays with it. Ferreira trying to get away there from Archer. Pauses.
You see the moves that have already been made. It really is quite remarkable just how many have been coming in. Here's a cross for Ferreira, and he puts it over from right in front.
There's just so much time and space wide for the United States, and down
guys like Brian Reynolds and Jordan Morris were pulled out of this camp to make their moves. Ferreira offside on soccer. Wasn't playing year-round. Wasn't a part of travel teams. But here he is on the field for the national team. It will be a Trinidad throw. Val's going to get to it. Hits it. Long try to recover. Here's back for Jackson Ewell. Leggett popping up out wide. Leggett's crossing with good area. Pigs around. Good reaction by Fonsette there. Might have come off the defender Trimmingham last as Ferreira was in the area.
Now, the quality of service for the U.S. from wide area.
The Post newspaper this fall as that cross from Vines takes a deflection. Archer trying to get rid of it. Lines for indoor soccer as part of its play on campaign. Providing recommendations on returning to play safely as Herrera much and wants to move on, hoping for a brighter future for this team. That's a great ball and a chance for another. Fonsette, mainly player, played in all 4 games that the U.S. had last year. Takes a deflection.
Opportunity a minute or so ago for them, but
Ferreira again dropping in that little pocket of space. Focus on what's in front of me, not get too caught up in it. Ferreira trying to steer that for Arriola, and he did. Arriola's attempt is in off the post. Second goal of the night. Third goal in 2 international matches since his return from the torn ACL. And the U.S. makes it 4.
Well, Paul Arriola showing some of that 2019 form when he was firing the goals in for the United States and for DC United. And what a great first touch. The flick on comes from, guess who? Ferreira again with another assist. Fonsette's able to...
Arriola on the deck. Ferreira. Kellen Acosta. Saved by Fonsette. He had that ball taken away from him by Aaron Herrera to the far side. Sam Vines bringing it down and fizzing that cross all the way through.
When you get a look at the passing range on Perea here as he picks this one up, no pressure.
Part of American clubs. Here's Kellen Acosta to take the ensuing free kick. It's a free header right in front. It's turned in on a diving header by Miles Robinson for his first international goal on his first ever start for the United States senior team. And the U.S. gets their 5th.
I believe this is a center back to center back orchestrated goal here as this one comes across, and Miles Robinson.
That ball's lifted up over the top for Lewis there by Kellen Acosta. Jonathan Lewis cutting inside. Lewis lets it fly. What a goal that is. Jonathan Lewis with his second, and the U.S. matches their best ever scoreline against Trinidad and Tobago from 2 summers ago at the Gold Cup. It is 6-0.
What a terrific pass here from Kellen Acosta to open the space up. But Trinidad and Tobago are playing this high line still. Down 5-0. They're pressing up higher. There's so much space in behind. Kellen Acosta, time on the ball, picks his head up. Lovely pass into space. And Jonathan Lewis picking up after a great year with the Colorado Rapids, where he was their joint top scorer. Taking it.
The young players that we're getting to see in MLS week in, week out. Here's Arriola now. Going to roll it instead for Ferreira, who scores at 7. Ferreira's been involved in 6 of them.
Big smile on that man's face. And you can understand why as this one comes across as Jackson Ewell. These long diagonal passes open.